The entire kingdom gathers to see the prince choose a bride. But all he wants is the girl hiding in the crowd with a scar. Prologue. The rough wool of the servant's dress scratches my skin like 1,000 tiny needles. It's too small, of course. My Aunt Serafina gave it to me on purpose, enjoying the way it digs into my arms and restricts my breathing. It's my reminder. My uniform. My place. Keep your head down, Avellini, she hisses, her nails digging into my shoulder. You're here to serve the guests, and that is all. If you so much as look in the prince's direction, I will lock you in the cellar for a week. I flinch, nodding quickly. Yes, Aunt. And fix that cloth, she snaps, gesturing to the cheap linen cap on my head. It's meant to hide my hair, but its real job is to help hide it. The scar. It's a masterpiece of cruelty. A thick, puckered rope of flesh that starts at my right temple, cuts across the bridge of my nose, and ends at the corner of my mouth. It pulls my lip into a permanent, ugly sneer. It's the first thing everyone sees. It's the only thing they remember. Tonight, the entire kingdom has gathered in this glittering ballroom. The air is thick with the smell of expensive perfume and melting wax. Hundreds of noble women, dressed in silks and jewels, chatter like a flock of bright, beautiful birds. My cousin, Rosalind, is the brightest of them all. She stands near the front of the room, preening in a gown of rose gold silk. Do I look perfect, Mother? She asks, her voice light and airy. Flawless, my darling, Aunt Serafina coos, adjusting a diamond in Rosalind's perfect blonde hair. Tonight, the new Alpha Prince, Lucian, will choose his bride from this room. And he will choose you. You are the only one worthy. My job is to be invisible. I'm a shadow. A stain. I'm not just a poor relative forced into servitude. I am a disgrace. I am Avellini of the House of Morn, the last carrier of the tainted mark. Our bloodline was cursed by the Fae centuries ago, branded as unclean. It is forbidden for the royal shifter line to associate with us, to even speak our names. If the court knew my aunt, in her desperate social climbing, had brought a blighted one into the royal palace, her ambition would be her ruin. So I hide. I stand behind a marble pillar, holding a heavy silver tray of empty glasses. My hands are shaking so badly the glasses rattle. Don't see me. Please, just don't let anyone see me. Suddenly, the music does not fade. It shatters. A heavy, resounding crash of silence falls over the ballroom. The chatter stops. The laughter dies. The great oak doors at the far end of the hall slam open. He is not just a man. He is a presence. Alpha Prince Lucian. He is huge, broad-shouldered in a way that makes his tailored black and gold uniform seem impossibly restrictive. He moves with a liquid, predatory grace. He is the wolf. He is the man. He is both. A low, dangerous hum of power rolls off him, and the air in the room becomes thin, electric. He doesn't walk. He stalks. He stalks past the front row of women, past the curtsies and the trembling smiles. His eyes, not blue, not brown, but a shocking molten gold, scan the crowd. He isn't looking at them like a man choosing a dance partner. He is hunting. My heart hammers against my ribs so hard I think it will break. I can smell him from here, a wild, clean scent of pine and winter air that cuts through the cloying perfume. He passes Rosalind. She gives her deepest, most practiced curtsy, her smile perfectly balanced between demure and inviting. Prince Lucian doesn't even glance at her. A low growl rumbles in his chest, so deep I feel it in the stone floor. He stops, tilting his head. He's sniffing the air. My blood turns to ice. I shrink further behind the pillar, the silver tray rattling. No, no, no. He stops. He turns his head. His gaze sweeps past the lords, past the musicians, past the rows of perfect, hopeful brides. And his eyes find mine. The world stops. The air is punched from my lungs. He doesn't look at Rosalind. He doesn't look at the hundreds of beautiful women. He looks at me. He looks at the girl in the servant's dress. The girl with the scar. The cursed one. I expect disgust. Pity. The cold dismissal I've known my whole life. I don't get any of that. His golden eyes narrow. He doesn't look disgusted. He looks found. He looks furious. He looks starved. A sound tears from his throat, a guttural snarl that is not human. It echoes off the high ceilings, a sound of raw, untamed possession. He takes one step toward me, then another, ignoring the horrified gasps of the crowd. He doesn't break eye contact. He lifts one hand and points. A single, steady finger aimed right at my heart. And he says one word. A word that rings through the silent hall like a death sentence. A word that seals my fate. Mine. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Where in the world are you watching from today, and what's the weather like? Let me know in the comments below. If you're enjoying this story, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Chapter 1. For a second, the only sound in the grand ballroom is the clink 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 of the champagne flutes rattling on my tray. My hands are shaking so hard I can't stop them. The silence stretches, tight and painful, like a string pulled to its breaking point. He said, mine. He's looking at me. Not at the pillar. Not at the woman next to me. At me. A strangled, high-pitched laugh shatters the quiet. It's my Aunt Serafina. She steps forward, her own face pale, but her smile is stretched wide and false across her face. She shoves Rosalind in front of her, a frantic, desperate push. Your Highness, she says, her voice trembling but sickeningly sweet. What a wonderful jest. You have your father's wit. But this is my daughter, Rosalind. She is the one you sent for. This thing. She gestures to me with a flick of her hand, as if brushing away a fly is just a servant. Avellini, get back to the kitchens. Now. Her command is a hot poker to my back. Move. Hide. Run. I try to obey. I try to make my feet unstick from the polished marble. But I am pinned. Not by her words, but by his eyes. Prince Lucian does not look at my aunt. He does not look at Rosalind, who is frozen in a perfect, hopeful curtsy. He just watches me. And then he moves. The crowd gasps, pulling back as one. They part for him. He doesn't shove them. They simply sense the need to get out of his way. He stalks across the floor, each step silent and deliberate. He isn't walking. He is a wolf closing in on its prey. My mind is a white storm of panic. He knows. He knows what I am. He sees the blighted mark on my blood. He isn't choosing a bride. He's choosing a sacrifice. He's going to drag me to the center of the floor and tear me apart as a warning. To show them all what he does to the unclean. The old king, his father, was ruthless. They say he hunted down the last of the fake-cursed lines and wiped them from the earth. I am the last. I am the final, filthy remnant. He stops. He is 2 feet away. He is so tall. A mountain in a uniform. I have to crane my neck to see his face, and the movement makes the cheap cap slip, revealing the full, horrifying ruin of my scar. The women behind him gasp. I hear someone whisper, Moon Goddess. Look at its face. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the blow. For the laughter. For the order to kill it. Open your eyes. His voice is not a shout. It's a low growl, a command that vibrates in my bones. It's not a request. It is an absolute. I do it. My eyelids flutter open. He is closer now. I can smell the pine and cold air, but underneath, there is something else. Something hot and musky and purely animal. His golden eyes are not looking at my whole face. They are fixed with a frightening intensity on my scar. I brace myself. He lifts his hand. It's huge, his fingers long, his nails looking more like shortened claws. I flinch, a pathetic, whimpering sound catching in my throat. His hand stops, hovering an inch from my skin. Who did this to you? He murmurs. I can't breathe. What? Not what is that or how disgusting, but who? He doesn't wait for an answer. His gaze drops from the scar, past my trembling lips, down to the thin, worn wool of my dress. He sees where it digs into my collarbone. He sees the red, raw skin on my hands from scrubbing floors. A low, lethal rumble starts in his chest. It's the sound of a gathering storm. A sound of rage. She will be punished, Your Highness. My Aunt Seraphina, mistaking his anger, comes rushing forward. She sees her moment, her chance to fix this. She grabs my arm, her nails digging into the thin fabric and piercing my skin. She will be beaten for her impudence, I swear it. She cries, yanking me back. She is a nothing, a blighted. Release. Her. The change is so fast, I almost don't see it. 1 second he is still, the next he has my aunt's wrist in his hand. He doesn't grab her. He encircles her. His grip is so tight, so controlled, that Seraphina's face goes white with shock. She tries to pull away. He doesn't let her. I said, he repeats, and this time his voice is pure darkness. Take your hand off my mate. Mate? The word is a bomb. It explodes in the silence. Aunt Seraphina's eyes go wide with a new kind of terror. Not fear of being embarrassed, but fear for her life. And mate? Your Highness, you are mistaken. You don't understand. She is frantic now, desperate to make him see his error. She can't be. She is forbidden. She is cursed. The crowd buzzes, the whispers turning into a roar. Did she say cursed? The tainted mark. By the goddess, she brought a blighted one into the palace. My aunt, in her final, desperate gamble, rips the servant's cap from my head. My limp, dirty blonde hair tumbles out. But she is not showing my hair. She is pointing at my temple at the start of the scar. Look, she screams, her voice cracking. She is of the House of Morn. She is the last of them. She is Avelini. She is blighted. This, she thinks, is her trump card. This is the truth that will make him recoil in horror. This is the law. The ancient, sacred law. He cannot. He will not. The blood drains from my face. She has just signed my death warrant. To be a blight is to be forbidden. To be in the presence of the Alpha Prince is an act of treason. Prince Lucian looks at my aunt, his expression unreadable. He slowly, deliberately, loosens his grip. Seraphina snatches her hand back, cradling her bruised wrist. He turns to the crowd. He sees their fear, their disgust. He hears their judgment. Then he turns back to me. I am trembling from head to toe, tears blurring the faces of the court. I am dead. I am already dead. He steps into the small space between us, blocking me from the rest of the world. He reaches out, and this time he doesn't stop. His fingers, calloused and impossibly warm, touch my cheek. Not the good one. The ruined one. He lays his thumb against the ridge of my scar, his touch so gentle it's an agony. He isn't disgusted. He isn't angry. He looks in pain. They made you hide, he whispers, so low only I can hear. His thumb strokes the scar, and a jolt, a current of hot, liquid lightning, shoots through me. It doesn't hurt. It feels like the first warmth I have felt in my entire life. He looks up, his golden eyes finding mine. The wolf is there, possessive, wild, and absolute. They will never make you hide again. He turns from me to face the hundreds of stunned, silent nobles. He doesn't release me. He keeps one hand on my face, a public claim. His voice is no longer a whisper. It is the Alpha's decree. It rolls over the crowd, shaking the very crystals on the chandeliers. You are right, he says, his voice a deadly calm. She is of the House of Morn. The crowd gasps. She is the one you call blighted. The one you have shunned. The one you have hurt. His eyes find my aunt, and she lets out a small, terrified squeak. And she is my mate. He says the word like a shield. Like a weapon. She is not cursed. She is not unclean. She is chosen. She is your future Luna. And as of this moment, she is under my absolute protection. He lets that sink in. The silence is profound. If any one of you, he continues, his voice dropping to a low, lethal promise, so much as looks at her with disrespect. If you whisper her name without honor, if you ever make her feel less than the queen she is, I will personally tear out your throat. He doesn't wait for a reaction. He drops his hand from my face and grabs my arm. Not gently. It's a grip of pure ownership, a brand of heat on my skin. He pulls me from my hiding spot, from behind the pillar. Your Highness, no. Rosalind cries out, her composure finally breaking. Aunt Serafina just stares, her mouth open in a silent, horrified oh. Lucian doesn't look back. He pulls me, stumbling, behind him. He drags me right through the center of the dance floor. The silver tray I was holding crashes to the marble, the sound of shattering glass echoing in the vast, silent hall. He is taking me toward the great oak doors, toward the exit, toward what? I am his. I am his captive. His prize. His mate? I look back one last time. My aunt has collapsed. Rosalind is sobbing. The entire kingdom is watching me. The girl with the scar, the servant, the curse, being dragged away by the Alpha Prince who just chose me over all of them. The great doors slam shut behind us, plunging us into the quiet of the royal corridor. His grip on my arm tightens. He doesn't slow down. He is dragging me deeper into the palace, into the wolf's den. And I am more terrified than I have ever been in my life. Chapter 2. His hand is a manacle of fire on my arm. He pulls me through the royal corridor, and my worn-out servant's slippers slap pitifully against the rich, blood-red carpet. This is not a part of the palace I have ever seen. There is no dust here. No smell of lye soap and boiled cabbage. This wing smells of old magic, beeswax, and his sharp, wild scent of pine. My mind is a white storm of panic. This is a mistake. A fever dream. He is mad. He has to be. He doesn't know what he's done. The law, the oldest, most sacred law of the shifters, forbids my bloodline. The tainted mark is a death sentence. He hasn't just chosen a bride. He has declared war on his own kingdom. My heart is a trapped bird, beating itself to death against my ribs. I have to make him understand. I have to fix this before his guards, or worse, his father the king, find us and execute me for bewitching him. Please, I pant, stumbling to keep up. My words are a thin, reedy sound, swallowed by the echo of our footsteps. Your Highness, please, you must listen. He doesn't slow. He doesn't speak. He just grips my arm tighter, as if he's afraid I'll dissolve into smoke. He stops at a pair of massive, dark wood doors carved with the image of a great wolf. He doesn't knock. He shoves them open with his free hand, the thud of them hitting the inner walls echoing like a gunshot. He pulls me inside and slams them shut. The heavy click of the lock sliding into place is the loudest sound I have ever heard. It is the sound of a cage door closing. I am alone with him. The room is vast. It is not a room. It is a territory. A huge, unlit fireplace dominates one wall, its stone mantle carved with rough, ancient symbols. Furs are thrown over dark leather chairs. The air is cool, and through the tall, open balcony doors, I can hear the distant sound of the party music, a ghostly, mocking tune. And then there's the bed. It's a mountain of dark wood and tangled black furs, big enough for 5 people. He finally releases me. He doesn't let go. He shoves me away. It's not a violent push. It's an act of desperation, as if I am burning him. I stumble backward, my heel catching on the edge of a thick bearskin rug, and I fall. I land hard on the cold stone floor. I don't try to get up. I just scramble backward on my hands and knees, like a crab, until my back hits the solid, unmoving wall. I am a cornered animal. I curl my knees to my chest, making myself small. My whole body is shaking. He doesn't look at me. He stalks to the center of the room, his back to me, and his hands clench into fists at his sides. His broad shoulders are tense, rising and falling with harsh, ragged breaths. He is not calm. He is a storm trapped in a bottle. Rags, he growls. The word is a snarl, ripped from his throat. I flinch. I am sorry, Your Highness. They put you in rags. He turns, and his face is a mask of such terrible, contained fury that I stop breathing. He isn't looking at me with desire. He is looking at me with a rage that seems to shake the very foundations of the room. They made you serve them. He takes a step toward me, and I press myself harder into the stone. That filth. He means my aunt. She touched you. She hurt you. He isn't angry at me. He is angry for me. This is a new feeling. A terrifying one. It makes no sense. No, I whisper, shaking my head so hard my cap, which I'd somehow held onto, falls to the floor. No, you don't understand. You've made a terrible mistake. It is the law. I am what she said. I have to say it. I have to be the one to break the spell he is under. It is the only way I might survive. I am blighted, I confess, the word tasting like ash in my mouth. My blood it's unclean. It is forbidden. You cannot choose me. You must let me go. I will go back to the kitchen. No one will ever know. Please, Your Highness. I beg you. For a moment, he just stares. The gold in his eyes seems to churn, to burn brighter. Mistake, he whispers. Then his voice rises, not in a shout, but in a roar of absolute power. Mistake. The moon goddess does not make mistakes. He slams his fist into the wall, right next to my head. The stone cracks. A web of fissures spreads from his knuckles. I scream, a short, sharp sound, and bury my face in my knees, protecting my head. Look at me, he commands. I can't. I'm shaking, weeping, my throat closing in on itself. A low, animal sound of distress comes from him. It's not anger anymore. It's pain. I am not going to hurt you, he says, his voice strained, as if the words are hard for him. Avellini, look at me. Slowly, my fingers uncurling from my face, I lift my head. He is kneeling in front of me. The great Alpha Prince is on his knees on the cold stone, his head level with mine. His bleeding knuckles are just inches from my face. They have taught you to hate yourself, he murmurs, and his voice is raw. For my entire life, I have been hollow. I am the Alpha. I have a kingdom, power, anything I could want. But it was all gray. Lifeless. He reaches out, not for my face, but for my hand. The one that is red and raw from bleach. He takes it, his grip in pause request too long. Chapter 3. I am still frozen in his arms, pressed against a chest so solid it feels more like the wall I was just cowering against. My back is to the room, my face hidden in the rough, expensive wool of his uniform. His heart is a war drum, a frantic, heavy thud-thud-thud against my ear, rhythm so fast it matches my own. His words echo in the small, terrified space of my mind. The other half of my soul. It's a lie. It's madness. It's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me. I shudder, and the spell is broken. The terror, cold and familiar, floods back in. This is a trap. The Fey curse, the old stories say, doesn't just mark the blood. It drives others to madness. He is the Alpha Prince. He cannot be mad. Which means this is a game. A cruel, elaborate game to expose me, to humiliate me, before the entire kingdom. No, I choke out, the word muffled against his chest. I press my raw hands against the solid muscle and push. It's like pushing against a mountain. He doesn't budge. No. I try again, louder, shoving with all my meager strength. You must not. Please, Your Highness, you're damning yourself. You're damning us both. Damning. He holds me fast, his voice a low growl above my head. To finally feel? To finally find the one thing that makes this empty life make sense? That is not damnation, Avellini. That is salvation. It is the law. I cry, finally twisting free. I stumble back, my body screaming at the loss of his heat. The air in the room feels 10 degrees colder. The law your father wrote in blood. The blighted mark, it brings ruin. My ancestors, your ancestors were murdered. He snarls, and the rage is back, his golden eyes flashing. They were hunted by a paranoid king who feared a fey blessing, so he called it a curse. I have read the old texts. The ones my father tried to burn. The mark was not a blight. It was a sign of fey favor. A sign of a bloodline strong enough to heal, to see too. He stops, his gaze fixed on my scar. To bond with the purest of wolf lines, he finishes, his voice dropping to a whisper of awe. He didn't just hunt you. He was hunting us. He was trying to prevent this. He takes a step toward me. He was trying to prevent his heir from ever finding his true mate. My head is spinning. This is too much. Lies. All of it. All my life, I was a curse. A burden. A thing to be hidden. My aunt, my cousin, the servants, the village, they all knew it. He is one man. How can he be right and the entire world be wrong? You are wrong, I whisper, shaking. I am nothing. I am ruined. I touch my scar, the familiar, ugly rich. Look at me. I am not a queen. I am a monster. I am looking at you, he breathes, his voice rough. And you are the only thing I have ever truly seen. He steps forward again, and I brace myself. Thud, thud, thud. A heavy, measured, and furious knocking slams against the locked doors. I jump, a small scream tearing from my throat, and I instinctively dive for the darkest part of the room, crouching behind one of the massive leather chairs. They're here. The king. The guards. They've come to take me. They've come to kill me. Your Highness, a man's voice barks from the other side. It's not a servant. It's a voice of pure command. Lucian, open this door. The council is in an uproar. Your father is on his way. What is the meaning of this? Lucian doesn't look at the door. He looks at me, cowering behind the chair. His expression, which had been so raw and open, hardens. It shudders. The man is gone, and the Alpha is back. Stay there, he orders, his voice flat. He strides to the door and yanks it open. A man in the black and silver uniform of the Alpha's guard stands in the hallway, his chest heaving. He is older than Lucian, with a strong, scarred jaw and cold, gray eyes. He looks like a man who has seen 1,000 battles and started most of them. His eyes flick past Lucian, and they find me. His gaze sweeps over my servant's rags, my tangled hair, and the scar on my face. His lip curls. It's the expression I have known my entire life. Disgust. By the goddess, the man breathes, his voice thick with horror. It's true. You've brought a blight into the royal wing. I flinch, the slur hitting me like a physical blow. You will not use that word, Marcus, Lucian says, his voice dangerously low. He doesn't turn, but his entire body is coiled, a predator ready to spring. My apologies, Your Highness, Marcus snaps, not sounding apologetic at all. You've brought the girl into your chambers. The one from the House of Morn. Have you lost your mind? The entire ballroom is in chaos. The nobles are claiming you've been bewitched. Your father is demanding your presence. You have broken the most sacred law. The law is dead, Lucian says, his voice flat. Marcus's jaw drops. Lucian, you cannot be serious. The Fey curse is a lie. Lucian cuts him off. A lie used to justify a genocide. A lie. Marcus sputters, stepping into the room. The blighted lands around the Morn estate? The sickness? The ruin they bring? Those are not lies. They are a plague, and you have just invited one into your bed. My heart stops. He's right, I whisper from behind the chair. My voice is shaking, but I have to say it. Your Highness, he is right. Please, let me go. Tell them I snuck in. Tell them I tricked you. I will take the blame. Just let me go. I'd rather be whipped by my aunt than be the cause of a civil war. Lucian turns his head slowly, his golden eyes finding me. The fury in them is so cold, so absolute, it freezes my blood. But it's not for me. You, he says to me, his voice soft, will be silent. Then he turns to Marcus. She just offered to die to save my kingdom. After this kingdom has done nothing but spit on her. He takes a step toward his guard. Marcus, a warrior who I am sure fears nothing, takes an instinctive step back. She, Lucian snarls, jabbing a finger toward me, is my mate. The one chosen for me by the goddess. The other half of my soul. And you, my counsel, and my father, are calling her a plague. Lucian, be reasonable. Marcus pleads. This is not about your feelings. This is about the law. Your father, the king. My father is a liar and a murderer. Lucian roars, and the windows rattle. And I am the Alpha. Not him. Me. This is my territory. She is my mate. And the law is what I say it is. He is claiming it. Right here. He is drawing a line in the sand, and he is putting me on his side. Marcus is pale, his hand hovering over the hilt of his sword. You are choosing her over your people? Over your king. I am choosing my Luna. And my people will honor her, or they will be my enemies. My father will accept her, or I will remove him from his throne. The threat hangs in the air, heavy and suffocating. This is treason. He is committing treason right in front of me. You are damned, Marcus whispers, his face ashen. Then I am damned, Lucian says, his voice final. Now, get out. Send word to the council that the selection is over. My father will meet with me at dawn. Not before. And Marcus. Marcus, who had already started to back out of the room, pauses. Lucian looks at him, the wolf in his eyes so strong it's a miracle his skin doesn't split. Tell the guards to find Seraphina and Rosalind of House Valerius. My mate's former family. Have them brought to the cells. They are to be held for their crimes against a member of the royal line. My stomach drops. No, I gasp, scrambling to my feet. Please no. They are all I have. Please don't hurt them. Lucian's expression softens as he looks at me. They raised you. They fed you. And they hurt you. They hid you. They branded you with shame. That is not family, Avellini. That is a debt. And I am going to make them pay it. You can't. I sob, rushing forward. He catches me by the shoulders, his grip gentle but unbreakable. I can. And I will. You are not a servant. You are not a curse. You are mine. And I protect what is mine. He pushes me gently behind him, a human shield. Marcus, he says, his voice calm once more. Go. Marcus looks at me, his eyes filled with a terrible mixture of pity and contempt. Then he looks at his prince. He gives a sharp, wooden bow. As you command. Alpha. He turns and leaves, pulling the door shut with a quiet, ominous click. The room is silent again, but the world has changed. The bubble has burst. The war has begun. Lucian stands with his back to me, his shoulders heaving. He has just declared war on his own father, his own kingdom. For me, I am trembling, my mind a blank, cold void. He turns to me. The anger is gone. He just looks tired. And more, he looks pained. He reaches up and touches his own face, his fingers tracing a line from his temple to his jaw. The exact line of my scar. Does it hurt? He asks, his voice barely a whisper. The scar. Does it still hurt? I am so stunned by the question, I can only shake my head. And no, it's old. It hurts me, he murmurs, his eyes filled with a confusion that mirrors my own. I look at it and I feel the echo of it, as if it happened to me. He walks past me, not to the bed, but to a simple, unadorned door on the other side of the room. He opens it and speaks to someone in the hallway I cannot see. Clara, he says, his voice low. Bring the finest silks you have. And your healing kit. The one with the burn salve and the potions for soothing. She has been harmed. She is not to be left. He turns back to me. I am still standing in the middle of the room, a small, lost thing in a vast, dangerous world. The head healer will be here in a moment, he says, his voice gentle. She will help you. With bathing. And clothes. You will not wear these rags again. I just nod, my throat too tight to speak. He walks to the open balcony doors, staring out into the night at the party that is no doubt scattering in terror. I have to go, he says, not looking at me. I have to manage this. The guards at the door will not let anyone in. Clara will stay with you. You are safe here. He takes a deep breath, and I see his hands clenching at his sides. I know you are terrified, Avellini, he says, his voice heavy. I know you think I am a monster or a madman. But I am neither. I am just yours. And you're mine. And I will burn this entire kingdom to the ground before I let anyone take you from me. He doesn't wait for a reply. He strides out of the room, leaving me alone in the vast, silent chamber, the echo of his promise ringing in my ears like the toll of a bell. A moment later, a kind-looking older woman with gray hair pulled into a neat bun and carrying a wooden box steps into the room. She looks at me, and her eyes are not filled with disgust or fear. They are filled with pity, and a strange, unsettling awe. My lady, she says, giving a small curtsy. My name is Clara. I am here to help. Chapter 4. The door clicks shut and the sound of the bolt sliding home on the outside echoes in the chamber. He's gone. The whirlwind of rage, possession, and impossible tenderness has left the room, and the silence he leaves behind is deafening. I am alone with the woman, Clara. I'm still standing in the middle of the room, my hands clasped so tightly my knuckles are white. I feel exposed. Like a stray dog that has just been dragged inside, still covered in mud and trembling, waiting for the kick. My lady, she says again, her voice soft and calm, like smooth water. I flinch. I am not, please don't call me that. Clara gives me a small, sad smile. She sets her wooden box on a table. What should I call you then? The Alpha has named you as mate. You are the future Luna of this kingdom. My lady is the least of the titles you will soon hold. My stomach clenches. He is mistaken. He's angry, but he will realize his mistake. Please, you don't have to do this. Do what, child? She asks, her kindness almost more painful than my aunt's cruelty. She opens her box, and the scent of lavender and rosemary fills the air. Heal your hands? Give you a warm bath? Dress you in clothes that do not draw blood? She moves past me to the other door, the one he didn't use. She opens it, revealing a bathing chamber of pale, white marble, large enough to be a ballroom in my aunt's house. A deep copper tub sits in the center. The Alpha was right, she murmurs, mostly to herself. He ordered the water to be drawn an hour ago. He knew. Even before the ball, he knew he was finding you tonight. My blood runs cold. This wasn't a snap decision. This wasn't a moment of madness. It was a plan. He came to that ball for me. I follow her, my feet numb. How? He'd never seen me. The bond, my lady, Clara says, testing the steaming water. For an Alpha of his strength, the call of the true mate is a physical pull. He told me this morning, she is here. My mate is in this palace. And she is in pain. He has been unmoored for weeks. Searching. Today, he found you. She straightens up and turns to me. Her eyes are not just kind. They are assessing, like a healer. They trail over the angry red welt at my collarbone where the wool dress has dug into my skin. They see the raw, chapped flesh of my hands. They see the exhaustion that has settled into my bones. He also said, she continues, her voice gentle but firm, that you have been taught to fear. That you have been taught you are worthless. He is the Alpha. But you, my lady, are his heart. And a wolf cannot live without its heart. She holds out a hand. You do not have to be afraid of me. I am here to serve you. Now let's get these things off of you. I am so stunned, so terrified, so completely adrift that I let her. I stand like a wooden doll as her practiced fingers unfasten the rough hooks of the servant's dress. The moment the scratchy wool pulls away from my skin, I have to fight back a sob of pure relief. When the dress pulls at my feet, I am left in a thin, torn chemise that serves as my only undergarment. It's gray from too many washings, and the shame is so hot, so sharp, I cross my arms over my chest. Clara doesn't blink. She just clucks her tongue, a sound of disapproval aimed not at me, but at the world that put me in this state. In the water, child, she coaxes. I step into the copper tub. The heat is a shock. It's not the lukewarm, greasy water I'm allowed from the kitchen kettle. This is deep, clean, and so hot it's almost painful, sinking into my muscles, into my bones. I sink down to my chin, and the tears I've been holding back finally come. They're silent, hot tears that mix with the bathwater. I am not crying for my aunt. I am not crying for my fear. I am crying because this simple, human thing feels like an impossible, agonizing kindness. Clara is quiet. She lets me cry. She takes a soft cloth and a bar of soap that smells like roses, and she begins to wash my back. I flinch at the first touch, my entire body tensing, but her hands are firm, professional. It's all right, she murmurs. You're safe now. She washes my hair, her fingers massaging my scalp, and I feel years of grime, grease, and self-hatred sluice away. She works in silence, and with every pass of the cloth, I feel a layer of my old life being scrubbed off. When she gets to my hands, she holds them up out of the water. She examines the cracked, bleeding knuckles and the palms red with chemical burns. Goddess, she whispers, her voice tight with anger. This is not work. This is torture. She takes a small jar of greenish gold salve from her kit, the burn salve he asked for, and begins to gently, methodically, massage it into my skin. It tingles, a cool, soothing feeling that extinguishes the fire. Then, she touches my face. I freeze. May I? She asks, her hand hovering. I nod, my throat too thick to speak. Her fingers, now slick with the balm, trace the outline of my scar. I keep my eyes squeezed shut, waiting for the pity, the revulsion. This was a terrible wound, she says, her voice clinical. It was not stitched. It was allowed to heal this way. To be a statement. I open my eyes. She isn't looking at me with disgust. She's looking with a healer's fury. Who did this to you? She asks, the same question he did. I don't remember, I whisper, which is the truth. I was small. Aunt Seraphina said, she said it was the curse manifesting. That the fey magic inside me tore my own face apart. Clara's face darkens. She is a cruel and ignorant woman. This was not magic. This was a blade. A hot one. This was done to you, my lady. It is a brand, not a blight. She works the salve into the old, hard tissue. The scar, which has been numb for a decade, begins to tingle. Not with pain, but with feeling. It will never go away, she says quietly. It is a part of you. But it does not have to be a source of shame. When I am clean, she wraps me in a towel so thick and soft it feels like a cloud. She leads me back into the Alpha's chamber. The old, filthy rags are gone. On the massive bed, laid out like a royal offering, are new clothes. Not a ball gown, but a simple, perfect shift of pale green silk and a robe of dark blue wool so soft it looks like midnight. I put them on. The silk slides over my skin like water. It is weightless. I don't feel like me. Clara hands me a silver-backed brush. I stare at it. I have only ever used a broken comb. I slowly, hesitantly, begin to pull it through my damp, clean hair. It's not the limp, dirty blonde I thought. It's the color of wheat, and it falls in waves past my shoulders. Clara gestures to a tall, standing mirror in the corner, one I had been too terrified to look at before. See, she says. I walk toward it as if in a trance. The person in the glass is a stranger. She is thin, yes, and her eyes are wide with a hunted look. But her skin is clean and glowing. Her hair is a soft, shining frame. Her hands, though still red, are no longer bleeding. She is wearing silk. And the scar, it's still there. It is a vivid, angry-looking red against my clean skin, a brutal slash of reality. But somehow, it is not the only thing I see. Clara comes to stand behind me. That, she says, pointing to the reflection, is the woman the Alpha has chosen. That is Lady Avellini, your future Luna. A sob catches in my throat. The girl in the mirror looks like a queen who has been in a terrible battle. She does not look like a servant. Now, Clara says, her voice all business, the Alpha has ordered food for you. And you must rest. The sun will rise in a few hours, and the day will be a difficult one. The war. He is meeting his father at dawn. The terror comes rushing back, cold and absolute. What will happen? I whisper to the girl in the mirror. Clara's face is grim. The king is a proud man. And he is a tyrant. But the Alpha is his son, and he is our true Alpha. The pack will follow the true Alpha. And the bond, the fated mate bond, it is the most sacred law of all. It overrules even the king. She turns me from the mirror. He is fighting for you, my lady. The best thing you can do for him is to eat, to sleep, and to gather your strength. He will need it when he sees you again. She curtsies, a deep, respectful bow. I will be outside. The guards will let no one in. You are the safest person in this kingdom, Lady Avellini. Rest. She walks to the door, opens it, and slips out, locking it behind her. I am alone. I am clean. I am fed. I am wearing silk. I am safe. I have never been more terrified in my entire life. I am a prisoner in a golden cage, and the man who holds the key is, at this very moment, starting a war in my name. Chapter 5. I do not sleep. Sleep is a luxury for those who are not waiting for a death sentence. The silk sheets are a cage, softer than my aunt's cellar, but a cage all the same. The massive bed is a cold, empty battlefield. I huddle on the very edge, my clean hair fanned out on the dark fur, my body vibrating like a plucked string. Clara left food, a tray of roasted chicken, warm bread, and cheese. It smells wonderful. I try to eat, but my throat is closed. Every time I lift the bread to my lips, I see my Aunt Seraphina's face, her mouth open in that silent, horrified scream. I see Rosalind's pure, devastated tears. Lucian had them taken to the cells. For me. Because of me. I am not a person. I am a plague. I am a walking civil war. I pace the room, the silk robe whispering around my ankles. I go to the balcony, stepping out into the cold night air. The party is long over. The courtyard below is empty, haunted. The moon is a cold, silver eye, and it feels like it is judging me. The other half of my soul. His words come back to me, a desperate, warm current in the icy sea of my fear. I touch my scar. Clara's salve has made it soft. The skin no longer feels dead. It tingles. This was done to you. All my life, I believed it was a curse from within. But what if it wasn't? What if Lucian is right? What if it was a lie? My entire world is a house of cards, and he has just kicked the table. I don't know how long I stand there, but the black sky begins to pale, turning a sick, bruised purple. Dawn. The meeting. A soundless, agonizing scream rips through my mind. It is not my own. It is a man's roar of pure, undiluted rage, so primal and so loud that I clap my hands over my ears, but it doesn't help. It's inside my head. I stumble back, my heart seizing. Lucian. It's him. I am feeling him. The bond. It's real. He is in pain. He is in a rage. The terror I felt for myself is gone, replaced by a new, sharper terror for him. He is facing his father. He is fighting. The sound in my head cuts off, replaced by a cold, heavy dread. Then I hear the sound I have been dreading. The SHHH click of the bolt being drawn back. The door to my cage is opening. I spin around, my heart in my throat. I back away, my hands raised, until I am pressed against the cold stone of the balcony railing. It's not Clara. It's not Lucian. The door swings open to reveal a man who is a frozen-over version of his son. He is just as tall, just as broad, but where Lucian is a forest fire, this man is a glacier. His hair is a kingly silver, his eyes a pale, icy blue. He wears the formal robes of the king, embroidered with the silver wolf crest. This is King Theron. He doesn't look at me. Not at first. He steps into the room, and his cold eyes scan the space. He sees the rumpled furs on the bed. He sees the tray of food. He sees the silk robe I am wearing. His lip curls in a faint, terrible sneer. So, he says, his voice a low, smooth rumble. This is the thing that has broken my son. He finally turns his gaze on me. It is not an assessing look. It is an act of defilement. He looks at me like a butcher inspecting a piece of spoiled meat. I had expected more, he says, his eyes landing on my scar. Some fey enchantress of impossible beauty. Some siren who could sing a man's mind into madness. But you. He chuckles, a dry, humorless sound. You are just a broken, half-starved girl. A blight. He has truly lost his mind. I am trembling so hard my teeth are chattering, but the fear for Lucian is greater than my fear of this man. He is not mad, I stammer. The king raises a silver eyebrow. It speaks. Tell me, girl, what spell did you use? What potion did you force down his throat to make him claim a thing like you as his mate? I used nothing. I cry, pressing myself harder against the railing. I did not ask for this. I did not know. You are the curse, he says, his voice flat. He begins to walk toward me, his steps slow and measured. My son, for all his strength, has a fool's heart. He believes the sentimental lies of the goddess. He thinks that bond nonsense overrules law, overrules duty. He stops, just a few feet away. You are a mistake, a Valini of Morn. A remnant of a bloodline my ancestors were wise enough to purge. You are an infection. And I am here to cleanse it. My blood turns to ice. He is the Alpha, I whisper, my last, desperate defense. He said I am his. He is a boy throwing a tantrum, the king scoffs. And I am his king. I am the one who holds the power of law. He is none as long as I live. And the law says the blighted mark is a sentence of death. My son has just complicated your execution. He looks at me, a cold, calculating light in his eyes. I am here to offer you a choice. A kindness he would not. He gestures to the room. Renounce him. Publicly. State that you used fey magic to enchant him, that you're a whore who tried to trick your way to the throne. Do this, and I will grant you a quick, painless, and private death. No one will even know your name. I stare at him, horrified. What is the other choice? I whisper. His face hardens. The other choice is that I declare my son unfit to rule, a traitor bewitched by a curse. I will lock him away, and I will have you burned in the public square as the witch you are. He smiles, a thin, cruel slash of a mouth. You will die either way, girl. The only question is whether you drag my son down with you. I look at this man, this monster. The man who hunted down my ancestors. The man who taught the world to hate me. And the girl in the servant's rags, the one who cowered behind a pillar, is gone. In her place is the woman who is bathed, healed, and wrapped in silk. The woman Lucian called his salvation. No, I say. My voice is small, but it does not shake. The king's smile falters. No, I will not, I say, louder now. I stand up straight, away from the railing. I will not renounce him. And I will not be your excuse to destroy your son. I touch my scar, the one he is staring at with such contempt. He said this was not a curse. He said it was a blessing. You call me a thing. You call me a blight. He called me his soul. I believe him. For For a second, the king is so stunned he cannot speak. Then his face contorts, a mask of pure, glacial rage. "Foolish, stupid girl," he hisses. He lunges forward, his hand lashing out. He doesn't hit me. He grabs me. His fingers wrap around my face, his thumb pressing hard into my scar. "This," he snarls, his icy blue eyes inches from mine, his breath hot and foul, "is filth. It is the mark of the unclean. And I will wipe it from my line." Pain, hot and blinding, erupts as his nail digs into the sensitive, newly healed skin. I scream. Boom. The sound is not a knock. It is an explosion. The massive oak doors to the chamber, the ones that were locked, are torn from their hinges. They fly across the room and smash into the far wall, splintering into 1,000 pieces. And in the doorway, he stands. It is not the prince who left me. It is the Alpha. Lucian is bare-chested, wearing only black trousers. His skin is flushed, his chest heaving. His hands are not hands. They are claws. Long, black talons that are dripping blood. His father's guards. But his eyes, they are not gold. They are twin, burning suns, pupils slit, blazing with a power that is not human, not wolf, but something more. He sees his father. He sees his father's hand on my face. A sound tears out of his chest that is not a word. It is a sound from the dawn of time. A roar of possession, of murder, of pure, absolute blasphemy. He moves. He doesn't run. He blurs. In one heartbeat, he is gone from the door, and in the next, he is between us. He slams into his father, shoving the king back with such force that Theron crashes into the wall. You touched her. The voice is not Lucian's. It is a dozen voices at once, a deep, guttural growl that shakes the very stones of the room. Lucian stands over his father, his claws extended, his body a trembling engine of death. He is fully shifted in his rage, a primal god. "Lucian, stop!" I scream, but my voice is nothing. The king, his face pale, but his eyes still cold, pushes himself up the wall. You dare," Theron chokes out. "You would strike your king? For AA. She is my mate." Lucian roars, and he raises his clawed hand, ready to strike, ready to deliver the death blow he promised. "Lucian, don't." I shriek, and I do the only thing I can. I run forward and grab his arm, the one he is about to use to kill his father. "Please, don't. For me." He freezes. His entire body is vibrating, every muscle locked. He turns his head slowly. The blazing suns of his eyes fall on me. The rage is so thick I can taste it, a metallic tang of blood in the air. He looks at my face. He sees the fresh, red mark where his father's nail dug into my scar. His growl softens, just a fraction. It turns from pure rage to a sound of agonizing pain. He stares at me, his chest heaving. Then he looks at his father, who is watching, winded but calculating. The three of us are frozen. The father, the son, and the curse. The war is no longer at the gates. It is in the room. Chapter 6. My hand is a pale, small thing on his arm, which is a column of stone-hard, superheated muscle. It is like touching a furnace. Lucian is shaking. Not with fear. With the effort of not finishing the kill. The primal thing in his eyes is still there, a raging sun of pure, ancient power. He is breathing in harsh, rattling gasps, his claws, black and bloody, still extended. His focus is entirely on the man crumpled against the wall. "Lucian," I whisper, my voice breaking. He doesn't hear me. He growls at his father, the sound a low vibration that I feel in my own chest, will die for touching her. "Lucian, no." I scream, and I do the only thing I can think of. I let go of his arm and move. I stand between them. I plant myself directly in front of him, my back to the king, my hands flat on Lucian's bare, heaving chest. It is the stupidest, bravest thing I have ever done. I am shielding the man who wanted me dead from the man who wants me to live. Look at me, I beg, my hands splayed against the fire of his skin. Please. Lucian. Look at me. The burning, slitted pupils of his eyes finally, slowly, drop from his father. They find me. The rage, the pure wolf, is so strong I almost recoil. He is not a man right now. He isn't it. A force. He hurt you, he snarls, his voice a dozen layered growls. Yes, I say, my tears starting to fall. He did. And you're scaring me. That one word, scaring, is the pin that pricks the balloon. The inferno in his eyes flickers. It doesn't go out, but a flicker of confusion of him comes back. He looks down at my hands on his chest, then back to my face. Please, I whisper, my courage fading. I lift one trembling hand, the one he healed, and I touch his face. I lay my palm along his jaw, my thumb stroking the hard line. Come back. I'm right here. I'm safe. You saved me. He closes his eyes. A single, shuddering breath rips through him. It is a sound of such profound, tearing agony. When he opens them again, the burning suns are gone. In their place are the molten gold eyes of the man I met in the ballroom. The man who called me his soul. The claws retract. The tension drains from his shoulders, and he sags, the primal strength vanishing. He is suddenly just a man, exhausted and bleeding from his knuckles, his chest rising and falling too fast. His first clear word is for me. Your face, he rasps, his hand coming up to hover over my scar, where his father's nail left a new, bright red line. I'm all right, I whisper. I'm all right. He did not kill him. He chose me, he chose us over his vengeance. A slow, deliberate scrape of leather on stone makes us both turn. King Theron is pulling himself to his feet. He is not a cowering old man. He is a king. His robes are torn, and a dark bruise is already forming on his cheekbone where Lucian's first blow must have landed. He wipes a trickle of blood from his lip with the back of his hand. He is not looking at his son with fury. He is looking at me with a new, cold, horrifying calculation. He just watched his son, the most powerful alpha in generations, be brought to the brink of kinslaying and then be talked down by a half-starved, broken girl. He doesn't see a curse anymore. He sees a leash. So, the king says, his voice a low, rough rasp, but his regal power already returning. The bond is strong. Lucian shoves me behind him, a protective, instinctual move. Get out, he growls, his voice human again, but vibrating with a controlled, lethal promise. I am still the king, boy, Theron says, straightening his torn robes. You have just committed high treason. You struck your alpha. Your king. And you, Lucian counters, his voice dropping, laid your hands on his Luna. An act of war. By your own sacred laws, I should have your head. Then you are at an impasse, Theron says, and the faintest hint of a smile touches his bruised lips. You cannot kill me without becoming a kinslayer, a tyrant. You will split the kingdom. Your sacred bond will be the very thing that destroys you. And I cannot harm her. His eyes find me behind Lucian's shoulder. Because you, my son, are a weapon pointed at my own head. And her finger is on the trigger. My blood runs cold. He understands. He sees it all. You have broken one law, the king continues, by claiming a blight. But you have invoked another, the law of the fated mate. When two sacred laws are in conflict, there is only one solution. There is no conflict, Lucian snarls. There is only her. The old law is dead. The old law is not dead. Theron roars, his power flaring. It is what has kept us safe from the Fae poison for 1,000 years. You say she is a blessing. The entire world says she is a curse. You cannot rule a kingdom that believes your queen is a plague. He is right. A cold, sick dread fills me. He is right. Lucian can't win this. Not with just his claws. So, the king says, his voice dropping to a smooth, political calm. We will have a trial. We will let the goddess herself decide. Lucian tenses. What trial? Theron's cold, blue eyes find me. Your ancestors, Avelini of Morn. When they were cursed, their lands died with them. The fields turned to ash, the rivers to poison, the blighted lands, a testament to their unclean magic. He gestures to me. You claim the mark is a blessing. You claim this bond is fey-favored, sacred. Then prove it. He smiles. It is a victor's smile. Heal it. The air is sucked from the room. Lucian stares at his father, his face pale with a new kind of horror. Heal the blighted lands? That is impossible. It is a wasteland of dead magic. It has been for centuries. No one can. A true Fey blessing should be able to, Theron says softly. A true Luna, whose bond is pure, should be able to bring life from death. That is the very definition of the goddess. That is a death sentence, Lucian whispers, his voice shaking with a rage that is now cold. You are just finding a new way to execute her. I am giving you a chance, Theron corrects. You have until the next full moon. 30 days. Go to her poison lands. And if, on the day of the moon, life returns, if a single flower blooms from that ash, I will be the first to kneel. He looks at me. I will publicly revoke the old law. I will name you Luna. And I will announce my abdication and place the crown on my son's head myself. And if we fail? Lucian asks. The king's smile is gone. If you fail, the bond is proven unnatural. A sickness. I will have the witch burned, and I will have my son imprisoned for his treason. The law will be satisfied. He is us. He has cornered us completely. Lucian turns to me, his golden eyes wide with panic. He is the Alpha. He can tear down mountains. But this is magic. This is a task for God. And he is just a wolf. We will not, Lucian says, his voice a low growl of pure denial. We will not accept. We will, I say. My voice is a small, quiet sound in the vast, broken room. Lucian spins to look at me, his expression one of utter, stunned disbelief. Avelini, no. You don't understand. It can't be done. It is a trap. I look at him. The man who tore down a door for me. The man who saw me when I was invisible. The man who was willing to kill his own father for me. And I look at the king. The man who just gave us our only path. He is right, I whisper, and I find, to my shock, that I am no longer shaking. I am cold. I am clear. You cannot rule a kingdom that hates me. You cannot be their Alpha if they think you are bewitched by a plague. You cannot kill your father. It will break you. It will break the kingdom. I step out from behind him to stand beside him. I am a girl in a silk robe, my face ruined, standing next to a half-naked Alpha, facing a king. This is the only way, I say, my voice growing stronger. He has given us a chance to prove you are not a fool. To prove I am not a curse. I look the king in the eye. We accept your trial. Theron's eyes widen, just a fraction. He was not expecting this. He was expecting his son to refuse, to start the war. He was expecting me to be the weakness. Lucian is staring at me, his expression unreadable. It is a mix of terror, fury, and a dawning, terrible awe. Then it is done, the king says. He pulls his torn robe around himself. 30 days. I will have it proclaimed. The fate of the kingdom, the fate of the blight, and the fate of the crown will be decided at the blighted lands of Morn. He turns, and with all the dignity of a king who has just won a war, he strides out of the ruined doorway, leaving us in the wreckage. The sun is now streaming through the balcony. A new day has begun. I am left alone with Lucian. The silence is profound. I finally turn to look at him. He is just watching me. Avelini, he says, his voice raw, and he reaches out and touches my scar, his fingers trembling. What have you done? I don't know, I whisper, and for the first time, I am not afraid. I think I just saved us. Epilogue. The air doesn't move. It hangs thick and dead, smelling of dust and something ancient and rotten. The blighted lands are not black. They are a dull, sick gray. The earth is cracked and dry, like the skin of a snake. The trees are skeletons, their branches twisted into shapes of agony. There is no birdsong, no buzz of insects. There is only silence and the crunch of our boots on the ashen ground. This is my home, my legacy, a land of death. Lucian's hand is in mine. It has been for all 30 days. We have slept in a tent under a poison sky. We have walked this wasteland until our feet bled. We have sat for hours, just being. I have poured my heart out to him, told him of the cellar, of the whispers, of the cold, hungry nights. And he has held me. He has told me of his own prison, of a cold father, of a life of duty, of the crushing, hollow grayness he felt before he found me. But we have not healed the land. The magic is not in me. I am not a fey princess. I am just a Velini. I have tried. I have pressed my hands to the dead earth, begging, crying, pleading for it to live. I have poured my very soul into the dirt, and it has given me nothing. It is the last day. The sun is setting, and the moon, full and perfectly round, is beginning to rise. A huge white eye in the purple sky. They will be here soon, Lucian says, his voice rough. He gestures to the hill overlooking this dead valley. His father's royal tent is already there. The council is there. They are waiting for the moon to reach its peak. They are waiting for our failure. It doesn't matter, I whisper, turning to him. He looks at me, his golden eyes dark with a pain that is deeper than any wound. It matters, he says, his voice thick. I will not let him take you. I will. I will tear them all apart. No, I say, and I put my hands on his face. He is wearing simple black leathers, and he looks more like a man than a prince. You will not. We knew this was a trap. But it wasn't. Not really. He frowns, not understanding. It was a gift, I whisper. He gave us 30 days. 30 days where we were not a prince and a curse. We were just Lucian and Avelini. He gave me a month of being seen, of being loved. If I am to be burned, I will die as your mate, not as their blight. That is more than I ever dreamed of. Tears well in his eyes. I will not let you die. You already saved me, I tell him, my own tears falling. I was dead when you found me. You brought me to life. I lean in and I kiss him. It is not a desperate kiss. It is a slow, deep kiss of gratitude, of pure, aching love. I am pouring every part of my soul, my newfound strength, my love for this man, into this one final moment. A sound, like a sigh, echoes around us. I pull back, confused. Lucian is staring, his eyes wide, looking at something over my shoulder. Avelini, he breathes, his voice shaking. What? The ground. I turn. Where my tears had fallen, where they had mixed with the ashen, dead soil, there is a color. A small, impossible, vibrant green. A tiny, perfect sprout is pushing its way up from the gray. As we watch, it unfurls two small, perfect leaves. And then, it is not alone. Another. And another. It is not me. It was never my magic. It was ours. It was the love. The bond. The Fey magic wasn't in my bloodline. It was in the union. A Fey blessing that could only be unlocked by the true love of a royal wolf. A new scent rises from the ground. Not dust and rot. It is the smell of damp earth. Of life. We look up. On the hill, we can see the dark figures outlined against the rising moon. The king. The council. They are watching. Lucian looks at me, and his face is a mask of pure, radiant, disbelieving joy. He scoops me into his arms, lifting me off the ground, and his laugh is not a growl or a roar. It is the sound of pure, unbridled freedom. He spins me around as, all around our feet, the blighted lands of morn begin, impossibly, to bloom. Hello, my wonderful pack. Thank you for staying with me to the very end of this story. What did you think? Which part of Avelini and Lucian's story intrigued you the most? Was it the moment he claimed her in the ballroom, ignoring her scar? Or was it the way he tore down the doors, ready to kill his own father for her? And what about that impossible choice Avellini made to accept the king's trial? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story and want more like it, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. My channel is still young and trying to grow, and every single subscription is a show of support from you that truly means the world to me. It lets me know you want to see more.